sound speeds. And when you review products online, you're supposed to be thorough. But in the case of the only ribbon microphone that Bandrew over at Podcastage has reviewed as of today's date...
Now let's go ahead and test some plosives. I'm not going to do one. I told you already. A plosive directly into this microphone's ribbon can dislodge it or tear it or just break it. So I am not going to break this microphone for the sake of testing plosives. If you're using a ribbon microphone, either have really good microphone technique or get a pop filter.
What a cop-out. I mean, you call yourself a reviewer and can't even do a simple plosive test? Unsubscribe. Seriously, though, Bandrew's a friend of mine. I could poke at him a bit. But it still begs the question, what are you not supposed to do to a ribbon microphone? Ribbon microphones are widely considered to be the most fragile and delicate of them all. Kind of the Gen Z of microphones. I'm kidding. Don't get all offended. But seriously, pop filters were practically invented because of ribbon microphones. The breath off of singers has been known to destroy them. So it really makes you wonder, how delicate are they? To answer this question, I decided to spend some money and I bought a Deity RSM5 or Ribbon Studio Microphone 5. Did I say 1? I meant 4. My purpose is to stress test, let's say, a ribbon microphone against the things you're always warned against doing to one. For that reason, I feel the need to state the obvious here. I don't suggest doing anything you see in this video. All ribbon microphones are different. Just because one of these might survive a test or fail one doesn't mean that a different model would perform the same way. Even a different microphone of the same model could perform differently, so don't take anything you see in this video as absolute truth. Results will vary, but now that I've said, don't try this at home, now wait a second, before we potentially destroy 4 microphones, why don't we record something legit first? But what do we record? I tell you what, since they're ribbon microphones, let's do a Blumline stereo recording, but maybe slightly modified in technique. Now, I am not a fan of ASMR. So I figured we would do an ASMR recording my way, giving ASMR all the respect it deserves. Now that was a teaser, but if you want to see the rest of the video, then I'll put a link down in the description and at the end of this video. But for right now, let's get to our testing. If you're familiar with ribbon microphones, and I'm sure you've heard many times over that you're not supposed to put phantom power through to them because you could damage the very sensitive ribbon on the inside. Now, not only am I going to do that, but I'm going to be doing it open face. So that way you can see any potential damage done to the ribbon on the inside. Now, what am I going to be using to supply this phantom power? I figured I would use the Deity HDTX. So we're going to go into the menu mode, select XLR, and turn on 48 volts phantom power, and then hit record. Now, ribbon microphones, let me go ahead and plug this up, and we'll talk to it. Okay, so it's not fried out so far just yet. Ribbon microphones are designed to be very, very low sensitivity. The reason why is you don't put phantom power through to it, so there's no amplification being done. A very low millivolt current is output from this microphone. And it relies very much on the preamp quality to give it a good, strong signal. So I could use something like a Fedhead, an SE Electronics Dynamite, Cloudlifter CL1 on that, except that that would be if I were taking this recording seriously. It would block all phantom power going to this microphone if I used one of those. Now, I could use a Fedhead Phantom and still power it, but we're all about trying to test it to see how it does with that phantom power going through it. So I'm not going to really go for sound quality here. We're going to at least see if it's working. Now, it seems to be doing just fine with the power that's going through it from the Deity HDTX. So why don't we take this to the next level? This is what taking it to the next level looks like. I don't know if you could hear that sizzle, but that was pretty crazy. And somehow, despite all that sizzling, which you may have heard, I don't know if you could or not, it still seems to be working. I now have a fresh ribbon microphone in front of me, and these things hate it when you kill them with plosives, which is exactly what I'm about to do. So if I'm speaking about 6 or so inches away from it, and I'm speaking into it now with occasional plosives, you could see the microphone is slightly bouncing in and out. So pickled porcupines prefer pink pickles. Wow, that's really bouncing all over the place. You can see it on the close-up camera over there. Now, if I were to intentionally over-articulate, let's try overblown words I'm trying to speak into this microphone. Now I'm going to really get up on the proximity effect on here and speak more directly into it to see how much I can bounce this microphone. Pesky porcupines prefer pink pickles. This thing hates me right now. So why don't we blow straight into it and see what happens. And because that's not enough. And because that's not enough. Yep, I think we got it now. In addition to still looking really bad, it now smells really bad. And if I were to... There's no phantom power going through it, so there's no real risk there. Oh, it sounds totally awesome, doesn't it? That's what some moisture does to it. And, yeah, the microphone ribbon itself is actually locked into the back position. Now below these headphones, I'm wearing pretty heavy-duty ear protection. You'll realize why really quickly. Because I'm about to start speaking louder and louder to see how well this microphone picks up my voice if I'm yelling directly into it. Ribbon microphones hate this kind of stuff, so this should be a very good test for it. And as if that isn't enough, here is a whistle advertised as being the world's loudest whistle, the hyper whistle. And because that's not even loud enough, this microphone seems to be doing okay. I'm going to try this one more time, though. So why don't we try it with both the hyper whistle and this marine sport horn. There you go. After all of that loud noise I just put through this microphone, this is how it sounds in my voice. I'm speaking a little bit on the loud side, and the sensitivity is set to negative 60 dB, which is what it's rated for. So you tell me, how do you think this microphone sounds? I mean, it doesn't visually look like it's locked or anything, so I don't think it sounds as it should, but that just may be because it's only a $90 microphone. Now we're going to be doing a few drop tests, starting with about 6 inches over a wooden table. And as long as that worked okay, that was a pretty solid hit right there. Why don't we take this up a notch? Now a drop test from about 18 inches over the top of the ground. All right. Now we're about 2.5 feet overhead. One more time because I don't know if it hit properly. Okay, moving on. The ribbon microphone is starting to show a little bit of damage, but that's okay because we're going to take this to the next level, dropping from about 5 feet over ground. Okay, still seems to be working, although this screen is now coming off. Still working though. If there's one thing that's clear, this microphone does not like to be dropped, so let's not do that anymore. And because taking it to the next level is something that I love to do, this microphone is now shot. You can hear it through here. When I shake it, it jiggles. The whole thing has been warped and distorted a bit, and it's making sound, but it's totally shot. It's not picking up my voice anymore. It's all distorted. This one's dead. So there you go. 4 ribbon microphones tested in ways you shouldn't unless you're fully prepared to destroy the ribbon microphone, or really any microphone for that matter. So basically, don't do it. So Banjo, as much as it pains me to say it, you are forgiven for not doing a test that could have potentially destroyed your little $100 ribbon microphone that you spent your own hard-earned money on. Or maybe it's just that you don't have it in you to run a test on something that could potentially damage something.
Alan is calling again. Hey, Alan, what's up, man?
Well, hey, dude, I was wondering if I could use your U87 for a few days.
For what exactly?
Just a few tests. Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. You can also make a suggestion for future topics of discussion. Again, comment section down below, or you can email me at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss out on future sound advice.